We've all heard the guru. We've all had that one guru. It's like, hey, listen, you need 25 streams of income if you want to live in life. You need 400 streams of income. Are they wrong? Absolutely not. 100% yes. I do say you need multiple streams of income. But here's the number one mistake most people do is they think having multiple streams of income means you have to focus on multiple things at once, right? Once. I want you to think about this, right? The sun shines on a specific area, on a specific region over a period of time. And then as the earth spins, obviously, different areas gets the sun, right? But let me ask you this one question. Imagine when you focus, let's say you take a beam or whatever I can't remember what that equipment is. It's like somebody remind me what that equipment is. But imagine you take that like one beam and you laser focus just the radiation and the beam from the sun on one simple object. You can start a what? You can start a fire, right? Let's imagine another thing, right? Let's say you are, what is another thing is water, right? Water flows across different areas, right? Water is very fluid. But imagine if water is forced and constrained to flow in one direction, right? And in this direction, right? Let's think about this way. I want you guys to think about this, right? So first, let's use the sun analogy, right? We have the sun, right? The sun is radiating everywhere, okay? Now imagine when this one beam of the sun is focused just on this one area. You have fires that starts, okay? Now, I'm going to go into the analogy of the water, and I want you to pay attention to this, right? Let's see water, right? Water is flowing through a constrained area, right? It's flowing through one simple area, right? And in here is a block, okay? Let's say water is supposed to flow through this block right here, right? This wall, right? And if with enough pressure of this forced water, it is enough to break through a concrete wall or even a steel wall, right? Because of what? What is the secret to it? It is focused intention and focused attention, right? So the number one mistake that you are making in your journey for multiple streams of income is you are focusing on way, way, way too many things at once. Way too many things. You do not have something called focused attention. Let's say you're working a job right now, and majority of people talk about a 9 to 5. I personally think majority of people should stay at a 9 to 5 because here's the thing is, if you have an on-demand skill that is actually high income, because the problem with the 9 to 5 is not that it's a 9 to 5. The problem with 9 to 5 is most people are just not getting paid enough for the 9 to 5. That's the problem is. So a lot of people talk trash about the 9 to 5. I don't think 9 to 5 is bad for most people, because if you are positioned, the key to getting the 9 to 5 right is to be positioned. If you're positioned in a key or top position, and 9 to 5 can be a very lucrative position in the sense that you can make a lot of money, right? That's the God's honest truth. So I'm not going to be here and talk trash about 9 to 5 because I do believe that there is money to be made as a 9 to 5. But here's the mistake most people do. The mistake most people make is, okay, they're like, all right, they're not making enough money in your 9 to 5. Okay. So what they do is they go start all the side hustles, right? They go e-commerce, this, right? And then you're doing 20 things at a time. And here's the thing is they're not even leveraging staff. You're doing it yourself. Right? You're starting all the side hustles and all those businesses, and you are basically running 10 businesses at a time, zero attention to anything, zero. All you're doing is just wasting your time. Okay, you're just like the sun. You're just shining on one area, and it's gonna spin again, and you're gonna shine another area. It's gonna spin again. You're gonna shine another area, right? Your presence is gonna be felt, but it's not going to be intense enough, right? And here's the thing: is if let's say you do eventually decide to say, you know what, I don't want to be in a 9 to 5. I want to go start my own business. That is probably the biggest mistake you can make. Yeah, that's probably the biggest mistake you can make, because here's the thing is majority of people are not prepped for the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. You're not prepped for the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. It's so interesting is I want to be an entrepreneur. If only you knew what you were stepping into, you would not do it. You see, is a lot of people sell you a dream. Okay. Let me tell you this. If I wanted to sell a product, right, I had no demand for it. Right? Let's say I had no demand for my product. I would have to create a demand for the product, right? Because if it's a product, like let's say I was an entrepreneur coach, right? And people were not pursuing entrepreneurship, right? Or as a business coach, people weren't going to business. Then I have to incentivize you first to go into business. And then when you go into business, I have just created a demand, because once you go into business, you need step-by-step guides as far as what to do. And then that's where my services come in, right? You create the problem, and then you create the solution, right? That is basically the key to controlling your market in business. Now, the mistake most people make is they see the dream that's been sold to them by the so-called guru, which is basically creating the problem, right? The guru is creating a problem first, right? You cannot sell something if you do not have a problem first. Problem needs to be there, right? So guru creates a problem, right? You, as the naive individual, gets into business, right? This is you. You listen to him. He's like, man, you can buy a Lamborghini that was rented. You can buy a Lamborghini, and you can buy a Porsche. You can look like me and live in my mansion. You can live all this life, nice life, right? You see it, you get attracted to the shiny object syndrome, right? You're like, hey, I just got to do what this guy's doing, right? I got to go be an entrepreneur. So guess what? Now, here's the problem. Now you're like, okay, in order to go ahead and get started with it, you need the solution, right? Which is where you need to purchase my course. Ta-da. And then you go, okay, all right, perfect. Then you purchase the course for $49, $59, $150, right? You purchase a course. So now you have two things, right? So now you have the problem, which is the problem was never there. You just got envious, and then the problem started existing. And then you have the solution, which is the course, right? So basically, in turn, this guru created a problem and also created a solution, right? Instantly. Now, you naive enough think you just need this one course to get what the guru has, not understanding that the guru, if they're actually legit, spend years developing themselves. Years. They spend years developing themselves, right? So which means now you have to go ahead and say, okay, now I'm going to now go ahead and be this person that genuinely you don't even know what is the key to do success. You just know you bought a course, and then you start it, and then you realize it's really hard, and then you lose a little bit of money, which you're going to lose a lot of money. Listen, it costs $1 million to make $1 million. Most of you want to be millionaires. It costs $1 million to be a millionaire. Just FYI. You then go ahead and lose some money, and then you feel devastated because you spent your last $200, $300 on this side hustle, and you lose money. I mean, guess what? Whose fault was it? I wish I could say it was the guru's fault, but it legitimately was your lack of preparation. The truth is this, I'm going to tell this. I'm speaking to entrepreneurs. You are, by definition, a scientist, okay? Your job is to experiment and improve. That's pretty much it. The moment you stop thinking of yourself as a scientist is the moment that you have lost, okay? So what that means is you have to be willing to fail more than you actually succeed, right? And that is one thing that most courses won't teach you, because most courses will sell you the how. And then eventually, once you buy the course and you try it a little bit, doesn't work, then you get sold a coaching program. And then in the coaching program, then you're like, okay, this isn't working. The reality is this, is only about less than 5 to 6% of people actually go up and end up succeeding in any venture. It doesn't matter what business it is. 5 to 6% of people end up succeeding. And you're like, well, what is the difference between the 5% and the 95%? The difference is just one simple thing: discipline and consistency. They were disciplined enough and they were consistent in one thing: persistent. They were not chasing 1 million side hustles, which is what most people are doing, is chasing multiple side hustles, right? Listen, I've fallen trapped to it. I'll be very genuine honest with you. When I got into life insurance space, I did not get into life insurance space because it was like, oh, I really wanted to make an impact. I got into it because genuinely I was told I was going to make a lot of money. That was it. And then slowly, as I started to get into the industry, then I started to realize the benefit of insurance to the people, right? That's what I was like, okay, good. Now I believe in the product. But still, I got into, honestly, I'm more passionate about the marketing side. That's why I stay in the marketing side. But the God's honest truth about it is this. If I was told when I was getting into insurance, it was going to be as hard as it was for me, I wouldn't have done it. I was sold a dream, which in turn created a problem. The dream created a problem. And then the whatever guidance they gave me was the paid solution. Do you understand what I mean? So whatever venture, and then the reality is this, is whatever you're doing, you just have to stay consistent at it. Consistency is key. It doesn't matter what. You may be like, I didn't achieve anything today, but just still go ahead and do it again tomorrow. Just keep doing it again, and to the point in which it becomes of an insanity. Rather, you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm still gonna keep knocking on doors. I'm still gonna keep doing this. I'm still gonna keep doing it. You know what? Every day, I'm just gonna keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. At some point, it is a weird thing. It's a weird thing that happens. As long as you do not lose enthusiasm and keep going, you're gonna make it. Now, I personally have done the door knocking. Okay, I personally have done the cold calling. I don't like it. And anyone who tells you that they like it, well, I don't know what to say to that. But I'm more of a big fan of marketing, advertising side of things, right? Because I started thinking like a business, and I said, you know what? We're just going to launch one ad every week. So we start creating an ad on Monday. By Friday, Saturday, the ad should be launched, right? Every week, we're going to launch one new campaign. That was the goal. One a day, one a week, one a week, one a week. And it's to the point right now where our pipeline is consistently full. Just based off of like, I'm like, and then I always go ahead and optimize and review, right? Because I'm like, how can I make it better? And we're in a point in which now we're reviewing the campaigns we launched a month ago to see how we can optimize it to get even better results by tweaking the copy offer, and then making some slight changes to target it, making it more detailed. So the reason why I'm making this is when you concentrate your effort long enough, you will see results. But you have to have focused efforts. Don't be that person that's like, I'm going to go from A, and if A doesn't work for like 3 weeks, I go to B. If B doesn't work for a week, I go to C. And you just you're never going to accomplish anything. Never going to accomplish anything. Never. So why do I say that? I say that because I don't want you to end up being that one person that gets into business and ends up not really seeing anything because you're trying to create multiple streams of income, and then you're not really realizing that in ability for you to be able to create multiple streams of income, you need to have focused effort on one thing, have it make enough money. Then once it made enough money, you stay focused on it, and then you find somebody else to help you run other streams of income. Because the moment you have to understand something, money follows attention. Wherever your attention is where money flows. The way you start giving attention is where you start to lose money. And the more concentrated your attention is on one thing, the more money you're going to make in that. Trust me, it's always automatic. So the key to making multiple streams of income is just focus on one stream first. Get really good at that one thing. Get so good at that one thing that everything else that you end up starting out, you can hire somebody who has a focused and concentrated attention on that one thing to help you run it, and then just go ahead and get a share of the revenue. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Right. And that's why most people got into insurance, is because you get really good at insurance, you build an agency, you teach other people how to sell insurance. They stay focused on selling insurance, and then you get, 5, 10, whatever percentage you get. Create a similar business model in your life. Get good at something, and then maybe teach other people how to do it. And then as they get good at it, they join you and get a percentage of it. Or you invest in a parallel business that you understand, or you acquire more businesses. Honestly, this advice it varies from industry to industry. But one thing I'm going to say is that the number one mistake you're making in your pursuit for multiple streams of income is lacking focused attention, rather lacking discipline and consistency. That's it. Stop focusing on a million things at once. Just pick one. Get really good at it first. Then you can see how you can leverage the resources of others to be able to work on your other streams of income. That's the rule of business. You cannot be in every place at the same time. You are one person. So just understand that, understand your limitations, and then use it to your benefit by getting really good at one thing. But that's what I got for you guys. And then go ahead and hit the like hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, so you get notified when a new video comes out. For that, I say enjoy, guys.